But his behavior on Pop the Balloon should have been enough to let people know that this behavior that he has, the way he dealt with the women, the way that he handled the rejection.
Hey guys, welcome to Littleblackbook91. Listen to your favorite dating and relationship coach. I don't know why you think there's even gone silent, to be honest. It actually kept on playing, but hey ho. Anyway, listen, I wanted to do a quick video because I feel like, you know what, it's important to address certain issues. I'm a person, I don't like playing with people. You know what I mean? I don't like people playing with me either. And the reality of the situation is I was meant to do an interview with AaronX from Pop the Balloon. If you know the Pop the Balloon show, then you know what show I'm talking about. He obviously has gone viral because of some of the things that he did on that particular show. All right. And unfortunately, some things have come out about him, about the way he's behaved, and the way that he came about on that particular Pop the Balloon show. Now, obviously, in amongst that, when I did my review of the situation, I told you guys about my thoughts and feelings about the way that he behaved on that show. Can I just say this now? Men, we have a freaking problem. I don't like playing. I don't like people playing my name. I don't like people playing with the way I behave. I'm a very serious person when it comes to the work that I do. When you reach out to me to want to interview, you better have done your research. And the reason why is because when I do my interviews, I'm always trying to humanize people. I want you to understand that there is a reason and a cause for why you behave what you do. So when he reached out to me, which he did, he reached out to me on my channel, and he reached out to me because he wanted to have an interview with me. All right. Clearly, he hadn't done his research. He just saw a video and didn't do the research on what I did. Now, I told him I'm all about the behavior experts of things. And, I want to understand where you come from and why you do what you do. Let me show you what happened. This was originally the message that came about, right? So this is what he messaged me, okay? But I want you to pay attention. He says, "This is Aaron, the plumber. I hope you're paying attention to the internet. Final chance to contact me or delete this video before you end up in court. Think I'm playing? Ask Queen of Accountability. She's on her way to prison." So we start the conversation based on a threat. Okay, like that's the first conversation we end up having. We're based on a threat. So I'm telling you what actually happened as to why we're not having this interview, right? So he reached out to me, what was this, a couple of days ago? 2 days ago, he reached out to me. I even messaged some of my peoples, Jay, Sean. I told him, listen, he wants an interview. Obviously, in amongst that, we actually exchanged details as well, right? So he's got my number, I've got his number. And because I wanted to make sure it's actually him that reached out to me, right? So I messaged him on TikTok through my TikTok, which is Black Muscle 91. And then we exchanged phone numbers, right? So that he can FaceTime me and we can have a conversation. So he popped up and I was like, oh, it's actually him. Let's have that conversation. Cool. Now, obviously, in amongst that conversation, he's telling me he wants to have an interview, right? He said he won't charge me. Fair play. He didn't want to charge me for the interview, which obviously I didn't ask for. So, it didn't matter to me. And my eyes a little bit hurt. I've been a bit sick, so sorry, guys. He wanted to do an interview, and I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, then I hear it, right? You want to do an interview, no big deal, right? But obviously, I'm thinking that he's already seen the kind of content I've done, right? Because obviously, in one of my videos, I called him a monster. So obviously, because of what we had seen from Queen of Accountability on her channel and what she had spoken about, and I was like, okay, well, at the end of the day, that's my viewpoint. You know what I mean? That was my viewpoint. Because based on the evidence of what the woman actually gave, right, I felt like this was monstrous behavior. And if everything's true, you are a monster. It's simple as. You know what I mean? For doing what you're doing. I think, honestly, personally, men, we have a big problem. I don't like people entering my space and trying to manipulate me. Whenever people come into my space and manipulate me, I take absolute offense. You guys know this. I keep a lot of stuff behind the scenes, stuff that happens on TV shows. When people reach out to me, I don't talk about it. Right? Because that's my kind of thing. I don't want to talk about it. I don't lift it up. I don't try to make it a bigger deal than it needs to be. I don't try to make it more heavy than it needs to be. If you reach out to me, whatever we speak about, most of the time stays behind the scenes because I don't think it needs to be out for the public. That's how I've always operated. And that's how I like to keep it. But on this occasion, this is some bullcrap. Yeah, I want to be honest with you. This is some bullcrap. And I'm not going to release everything that actually happened because there were some receipts that he showed which technically did not prove nothing. Can I just be honest with you? Man, them who are watching this is not for my audience, actually. This is for anybody who actually supports him. I want you to watch this very carefully, and I need you to actually think with your head. I need you to seriously think with your head because you are supporting somebody, right, where there is more than 2 or 3 witnesses. Let me get biblical on you guys real quick. Let me quote a scripture. Okay, since Aaron is a Muslim, which he reached out to me to tell me he's a Muslim, but talks about women being promiscuous, but out here claiming that he has sex with women and he's got the mandingo and they all want to have sex with him all the time, right? But I'll talk about that in a second. The Bible says, in 2 Corinthians 13, verse 1, says this is the third time I'm coming to you to visit you. And as the scriptures say, the facts of every case must be established by testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. Can I say that again? 2 Corinthians 13, verse 1 says, this is the third time I'm coming to visit you. And as the scriptures say, the facts of every case must be established by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. Deuteronomy 19 says, you must not convict anyone of a crime on the testimony of only 1 witness. The facts of the case must be established by testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. Well, you know what? As he plastered my face, okay, as he plastered my face on to do an interview, right? He put it on TikTok, he put it on Instagram saying he wants to do an interview with me and blasted it on there. I put obviously a post as well saying I'm going to interview him as well, right? Since you put it out there, everybody kind of knew that we're going to interview. Right, then it gets to a point now. Obviously, we end up having conversation for the next 2 days. Right, we have a conversation next 2 days, and so in that space of that time, of course, I've asked him, bro. You know, the allegations that are against you are kind of wild. I can't lie to you, bro. The allegations that you got on your neck, they're kind of wild. So, you know, I want to be honest with you.
The way
I want to be honest with you and say like the allegations are a bit crazy. Okay, so obviously, when the allegations are crazy like that, I'm looking for an answer that's going to actually make sense. So, do you know one way to know when somebody's a manipulative person? Do you know one way to know? And my arm is looking beautiful, by the way. I'm just going to be honest with you. But do you know one way to know when someone's been a manipulative person? Okay, when someone's being manipulative is when you ask them a question and they don't answer the question first and foremost, but they try to convince you straight away. This is an act. This is a mark of a manipulator. Let me tell you again, right? Whenever you ask somebody a question and they do not answer it, but they try to manipulate you by trying to convince you rather than answering the question, just know they are a liar and a manipulator. Let me give you an example of this particular behavior. If I say to you that, you know what, the allegations against you are grape, right? And you say to me, if that was the allegations, then, you know, I'd be in prison by now. When your first answer is no, when your first answer is not to say no, but your first answer is to try and convince me, all right? Your first answer is the first thing is to try and convince me, we got a problem. If your first answer is to try and manipulate me rather than actually answering the question about whether you did it or not, well, we've got a problem, right? Because when someone's innocent, their first protocol is that they aren't innocent. So when you ask them a question like, did you do it? No, I didn't do it. No, I wouldn't do that. When people are manipulative, they go straight to, if that was it, they become politicians. They straight away become politicians. Oh, if I actually did that, of course, if I actually did that, you think I'd still be here? Oh, if I actually did that, do you think I still be able to walk the streets? If you think I actually did it, when people start doing that, they're becoming a manipulative person. Okay, all right. It becomes a manipulative person. So now, okay, so now in a situation when I asked them that, I didn't fight him on it. I said, okay, cool. When people are talking, I let them talk. I want you to finish talking. You know what I mean? And I want you to be able to explain how you feel. But when people explain it in certain ways, I'm like, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying, Chu? I want to make it very clear too. I'm not bitter that we didn't get an interview. I want to make it very clear to any. And this live is more for the men out there than actually my actual audience. I want the men to really understand what we actually. When we see things that are crazy and we see behaviors that are off, we have to call it out. We have a duty to our community and the people around us. I don't have to support mad behavior, right? Because today you leave it alone, but tomorrow it'll be your door that they knock on. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying to you? Like, we need to fully understand that. So so we had to end up having a conversation, right? In that place as well. Okay, cool. So like I said, the first thing that we started off conversation was, he started off by saying to me he's going to sue me if I don't take down the video. We exchange details, we start having conversations, and then we look at the situation, right? And we're having a phone call, and he's explaining himself, and I appreciate this explanation. I wasn't mad. I was like, you know, explain yourself. I want to hear what you got to say. And then when he said he wants to have an interview, I said, fine, by all means, come on the platform, have an interview. Now, I'm not trying to trip you up. I just want you to come on the platform and say your piece, but I'm going to ask you questions. And I told him that. I said, hey, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know if you've seen my work, but I'm all about asking people questions. So don't think I'm not going to ask you questions. I'm going to ask you questions. But what I'm really interested in is your childhood. That's the real honest thing. I said, because the space I'm in right now, where I'm going to my brand, where I'm going to my platform, can I be honest? Really and truly, I want to understand your background and understand you as a child before I get to that place. I said, my job when I'm doing these interviews is to have the audience see you in a different light, understand how you got to where you got to. That was my job. I won't lie to you, whether you're a criminal or not a criminal. You know what I'm saying to you? My job is I want to interview you. I want to understand your childhood and how you got to where you are right now, right? And I don't really want to address the allegations. But he said he wants to address the allegations. I said, cool. You come on the platform, you address the allegations you want to address. No problem. Yeah? I said, if you want to address the fact that the woman said that you essayed her, if you want to address the fact that women are saying that, you put your hands on them, if you want to address all this kind of stuff, by all means, come and address it. But the reality of the situation is, here's my agenda, here's my goal. My agenda, my goal is that I want to understand your childhood, to understand how you behave right now. Because nobody behaves as they do right now as you're behaving without the background. So I really thought, that this was going to be I really thought it was going to be a really great situation where he actually might come in and share a bit more of what is going on with him, and understand where he's coming from, right? So that happened. Obviously now, in the case, and we had two conversations. He was blowing me up yesterday, but I was in therapy. Can't lie to you, I was in therapy. I wasn't feeling too well either. I'm in therapy. I'm trying to talk to my counselor, and he's blown up my phone because he's seen a video or saw one of my other videos that I did about him, right? So I'll part of the conversation. I don't want to share everything, but part of the conversation, here we go, so you can actually see it. I know it's in the way. Hold on, let me get out of the way so you can see it. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can read that. So he says this is why we actually didn't do the interview. So this is the reason why we didn't do the interview in the end. Okay, let me put my camera this way so you can see it. This is the reason why we didn't do the interview, because he wanted me to apologize. Okay, and so I was like, okay, you want me to apologize? All right, cool. So he says, yeah, I need an apology before we do, or I'm not doing it. Seriously, are you Muslim? I can't believe the things you're saying. You're supposed to be a relationship coach, and you're on here giving bad advice, and you're bad judge of character. I said, I don't even know what I'm apologizing for, because again, I feel blindsided. I'm like, what am I apologizing for? I've missed a part of the conversation. I don't know what I'm apologizing for. He said, okay, you don't have to. That's fine. Do not post anything I sent you, or you'll be included in a defamation suits. I'm going to spare you for allowing me to speak my truth. But even with what I sent you, you still feel like you don't owe me an apology. Then we don't need to do this. I said, I won't post anything, because I'm not going to post anything. And when I say anything, what I mean by that is the receipts that he actually sent me, right? Which, by the way, do not prove he's innocent. I just want you to understand this. The receipts do not prove he's innocent. The receipts actually prove that he put a counterclaim in. Can I just say this? He put a counterclaim in, right, about the girl stealing what, $3,000 or $300 from him. Okay, he put a counterclaim in. Okay, and so he put a counterclaim in on one of the girls who was actually on. If you ever watch Queen of Accountability, her channel called Celebrity D, the girl said that, like, obviously what had happened is they were messing around, and then they were in a car, whatever, and then he basically choked her and put hands on her, right? And he gave me the report, by the police report, which labels him as a victim and the girl as an offender. Fair play. That's what the girl already said, by the way, because he hasn't watched that whole video. This is the reason why, right? So he doesn't know that he's lying stupidly, because the other person, because on Celebrity D, on Queen of Accountability, has already put out that video about that girl. And so the girl said, yes, this is what happened. He put a counterclaim in, right? And it labels him as the victim. Okay. On as a counterclaim. This is already out there already. So that what he sent, the girl had already said this. So I'm looking at going, in my head, I'm like, this doesn't even make sense, because you've put a claim, what you've put to the police, but the girls already spoke about this, what you're talking about. You're trying to spin me, but the girls already said that. The girls already said that. Do you get what I'm saying to you? The girls already said that. She already said that. That's what happened in the police claim. So him counter claiming for, I'm like, I get it, but bro, she already said that you did this happened. She said that you put hands on her, and it says that in the police report. It says that you guys got to quote unquote sexual position or whatever. But all that was kind of said. So I was like, bro, but you know what? Come on the platform, say your piece. I'm not gonna fight you. If you want to come and say your piece, come and say your piece. But I'm gonna question you. You know what I mean? Like I have no problems with that. If you want to come and say your truth, come and say it. But I'm gonna question you. Okay, all right. And so, in amongst the conversation, obviously, he said it will be your best interest. You're guilty of defamation and slander with the information you put out. I guarantee you, my attorney is going to get your YouTube channels removed. It's all in the works. And if you're a Muslim, which obviously I'm not Muslim, guys, I am Christian, by the way, as well. So, you know, all right, I'm Christian. If you're Muslim, brother, read 49:12 and 5:47. You know nothing about my life. So be calling me a monster. Best of luck. I said I'm a Christian. He said, cool. I said, well, this could be a great time to clear your name. My focus is childhood. Like I said, my focus is what? Childhood. If anyone posts these receipts, you will be contacted by my attorney. Next, now that I have your number, it'll be easy to find your information. Just make sure you tell the truth. I wanted an apology. You refused, so we didn't do the interview. No further contacts needed from here. Now, I didn't know what I was apologizing for, but I guess what he meant was now I think I'm looking back at it, he goes, I think you want an apology for me calling him a monster. Okay. When we spoke on the phone, you know, it was I think we spoke on the phone, and because a lot of the conversation was on the phone, right? By FaceTime. And I said, bro, I don't remember calling you a monster, but if I did, I should have said your behavior. And I realized actually it's true. On the video, I called him a monster. I can't lie to you. I did. I realized I did call him a monster, right? Because of the things that was being said about him. And so far, the evidence has proved that he's not disputed, right? And so I was like, okay, okay, let's change it. You know what I mean? Your behavior is monstrous. That's fine. I don't mind. Let's change it. Your behavior is monstrous. I don't like the behavior. You know what I'm saying to you? I don't like that kind of behavior. You feel what I'm saying to you? And you had an opportunity to come and change that narrative, but you don't. That's cool. I don't mind. But you started off the whole conversation between me and you in a threat. You know what I mean? You start the whole conversation with me as a threat. You're going to sue me, but I'm open to having a conversation. Okay, cool. So next part of the conversation ends up this way. It says, you didn't say what I said, you didn't say what I'm supposed to apologize. He's like, I don't need to clear my name. I'm going to be on television law, and these TV networks don't care because it's been proven it's lies with court documents. How am I going to get on TV with all these allegations? Come on now. They look deep into your life history and everything before they put you on a network. I'm about to be one of the top 10 platforms on television. I could care less. But I'm sick of people like you making money off lying to women about me and my life, and you guys don't know nothing. It's reason those 10 other YouTubers won't let me on their platform to talk. I offered $5K to get my ex in the same chat room with me so we could talk about allegations. He said, hashtag go to Kite's channel and see, right? Cool. I'm like, listen, bro. I'm like, bro, okay. I still want to know what I'm apologizing for. You know what I mean? Like, I still want to know what I'm getting apologizing for. Do you know what I mean? Like, but obviously he's thinking about TV. He's going to be on TV, you know, and stuff. So I wanted to be able to, I was like, okay, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying to you? And then obviously I said, I feel you, fam. He said, yeah, no biggie, bro. It's a blessing. I appreciate time. So then he says, I don't respect you as a man. Honestly, if I knew I was in the wrong, I would apologize. The woman said, I'd word her. I do apologize there. I sent police reports. They say I'm wanted in 7 states. I sent my background check. The woman putting out these allegations, wanted for cyberbullying. I got all the receipts, and you say you don't owe me an apology. I said, bro, if you want to call me, give me 10 MOD. I meant 10 minutes. He said, you can call me from the chat. So we actually end up having a conversation. Again, I explained the situation. I said, at the end of the day, bro, you know, listen, I'm never gonna lie about my position. I haven't changed it since you started talking to me. I said, you didn't do your research. You wanted to interview me, right? You wanted to interview me, right? You didn't do your research. You didn't know I was a Christian, number one. You didn't know, you know what I mean? Like, number two, you didn't realize I did other videos about you. Like, you didn't do your research. That's not on me. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, I was ready to interview and sit down. And actually, like I said, my angle would have been not about, would have not been about necessarily the allegations. Okay. All right. It would not have been about allegations. It would have been about his childhood and understanding where he got to, where he get to. I was trying to have that conversation because that's my angle on my channel now. You know what I'm saying? So my angle was not to talk about the allegations. As far as I'm concerned, the allegations are out there. There's enough videos that are doing the allegations already. They already got your numbers marked. Okay. All right. You know what I mean? And there's things working behind the scenes. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't need to address the allegations again. But if you want to, you know what I mean? If you want to, fantastic. You know what I mean? But for me personally, I wanted to address the childhood and see how we can really like understand where you're coming from. So obviously, he sent me a link for a video. I watched it, or whatever. It was by Sperling, whatever. And he said, "I'm going to spare you only because you're willing to let me speak, but I honestly don't like you and how you are one-track minded. I don't hit women, but I am known to knock out artists. Though I am a known knockout artist. Those women will tell you that, and I love to beat dudes up that talk S on the internet. So maybe you're right. I am a monster." So what do you want me to do about it? What do you want me to do about it when you are calling yourself? What do you want me to do? Do you see what I'm talking about? Man, them. Can we be honest about the bull crap sometimes that we support? Okay, can we be honest sometimes about the bull crap that we support? Okay, all right. Can we be honest about the bull crap that we support? Because this is some bull crap. Okay, this is some bull crap. All right, there's some stupidity. Okay, because he's out here telling us he knocks people out, right? But it's all good. Do not send those receipts and continue your channel. Best of luck. Discuss anything we have, and I will have an attorney working diligently to get your name included in the civil RICO. A RICO? About drop on these YouTubers' heads, toodle poodle. Okay, so you still got to leave me with a threat, right? He still got to leave me with a threat, and I just said to him, "Okay, bro, just come on the platform, speak the truth." I said, "I appreciate you sparing me," and I said, "Okay, Will." I said, "Are you still good for 3 p.m. EST?" He didn't say anything. I said, "You down?" He said, "No." Okay, cool. Now, listen, I say this all to say that, you know, and all in all, right? This is stupidity. A lot of this, okay, all right, it's stupidity, and it's manipulative. Because this conversation also too, while we had it on the phone, we had a part, and I, you know, when people are trying to manipulate, you have to look at them, right? So one thing he said, we're on the phone, and he said, you know, what do you do when people talk crap and they want to try you? And I said, I don't need to fight them. I said, let God fight them. I said, let God fight them. Why? I said, why am I getting into fisticuffs with man them when I have a bigger God at home? I said, I don't need to anymore. I got too much to lose. You know what I'm saying to you? I got too much to lose to get into a fisticuff fight, fist to fist with any man. It doesn't make sense. So when he said that, I said, why would I not just let God handle it? Now, here's my biggest things. Okay, all right. Here's my things. The big issue that we have here is that, again, not even a big thing. What is even gonna, at a point, be a problem for himself is that you're also labeling yourself as a Muslim. And I said to him, "So you're a Muslim?" I said, "But you over drinking, is that allowed as a Muslim?" He said, "No, no, no." I said, "Oh, so you calling women low value? You calling them promiscuous?" I said, "But aren't you out here talking about you slinging dick? How do you have the moral superiority?" And this is where I caught him out. I caught him out on this point. I said, "How do you have the moral superiority calling yourself a Muslim? Number one. Number two, you don't act like a Muslim because you're out here drinking when you want to drink, and then you want to sex women and tell them that they're promiscuous, but you out here being promiscuous yourself. How's that possible, bro?" He laughed, and I laughed, and then we knew. I said to him, "I got you, right?" I said, "I got you." I said, "Listen, I see right through you." I said, "Listen, you chose the wrong person to want to come on the platform because, as far as I'm concerned, whatever you say, I'm going to use it." You get what I'm saying to you, right? So, unfortunately, we're not having that life. Okay, so, and obviously, I saw it yesterday. I didn't even see this until late. I went onto his TikTok and he had this post up as well about myself. Like, I'm weird, and I was like, okay, well, we gonna show you weird. Okay, we're gonna show you weird. That nothing weird about me calling you out. Calling you out about your behavior, and also that's another point. So, Dami, he intentionally chooses monotheism because then people can't hold him to nothing. I'm like, bro, because he doesn't want to get in trouble. He doesn't get in trouble for what he's doing. I said, you ain't listening, bro. Come on, bro. You choose and pick whenever you want to be Muslim. You talk about women as being low value and being promiscuous, and you do the exact same thing. How can you do that? And so he's got a whole cohort of men who I believe really need to come out of the sunken place. I need them to come out of the sunken place. This is not the guy that we need to follow behind. At least with Kevin Samuels, there was some ounces of intelligence. This one here is scary behavior, bro. Okay, this one here is scary behavior. Man, then we can't support this one. We don't have to follow this one at all. Don't get behind this one. Don't try to support it. Don't try to be behind it. Like, leave it alone. Okay, leave it alone. Okay, we don't need to support this type of man. There are other men who go through real stuff that we can support. This ain't it. This ain't it. The evidence is mounting up behind the scenes. This ain't it. You know what I'm saying to you? This ain't it. You know what I'm saying to you? So for me personally, it's a shame because it would have been I think it would have been a great interview to be able to actually understand the psyche of somebody like that. That's always my angle, is also understand the psyche. I think it helps other people be able to spot certain things and certain things. And if you notice as well that when I listen to him, there is certain language that he uses: promiscuous, low value, or high value. You know what I mean? Like, he called me a slave, as well. Like, I'm a slave and my slave mindset. And I realized a lot of this kind of stuff is what Red Pill do. But this is what happens when people that are not expansive in their mindset start reading start watching certain Red Pill stuff. Not all, because there is there's a lot of good stuff in Red Pill. But once people get a hold of Red Pill and they themselves do not think, it's like going to a cultist church and not having an understanding of the word of God yourself. If you don't read the Bible for yourself and you go into a cult, you are going to be strung up and finished. When people don't have a good relationship with the Father in heaven already and don't have a good relationship with the Holy Spirit and they end up in a cult, they usually get strung up. This is the same thing in like the Red Pill situation, where it's like some people get caught up in the Red Pill rhetoric so bad because they don't have a very good mindset. So I need to man them to, like, this is not one that we need to support. We don't need to get behind this one. We don't need to support it. We don't need to get behind it. We don't need to be paying money to the GoFundMe's, and let him rest. Okay? Let him rest. Okay? I want to let you know it gets worse than what he's actually done. Because I was watching Queen of Accountability and her situation, all right, because there was more victims. Obviously, I think the victim number 5 or whatever, but it went deeper because there are other aspects with the situation that are coming in with also potentially, I don't want to say the word, the P word, because you sending photos, and this was on Queen of Accountability. I was like, oh my God, you sending photos that you shouldn't be sending. So honestly, like, this is not the one that we need to be supporting, man. Them, yeah, real spit. This is not the one that we need supporting. We need to leave this one alone. Okay, all right. Let the police handle what they need to handle. Okay, let the police handle what they need to handle, because it gets worse than this. So I don't need to be behind it. I don't need to be encouraging it. I'm letting you know, man. Them, we don't need to support this thing. Trust me. No, no. So yeah. That's why the interview didn't go ahead. And listen, when people try to manipulate and stuff, and I question. Um, yeah, I question. I question. Yeah, because this is nuts. It's nuts. Yeah, and there's lot. Like I said, there's a lot more. Because obviously there was, like I said, the ladies that were on Celebrity D's podcast, and if you ever go and watch it, they were talking about their situation. Let me see if I can get it. I want to see if I can get the. It seems like he has a little thing for. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let me leave it at there. Let me leave it at there. Okay, so yep. If you want to go and watch it, there are lots of victims that are coming out on that show, and yeah, it's disappointing. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So yeah, it's political. Anyway, I gotta get off because boy, oh boy, I've got to go into a meeting. I'm not even feeling too tough, man. I'm not even feeling too good. So I apologize. I was meant to have some clients yesterday, and I do apologize. I apologize to them already, but I was even sick, so yesterday I couldn't even really do anything. But I'll reschedule you guys in. But again, we'll go again. And El Cid, yes, the members live. I think it's next month. I was meant to have it this month, but because of my clientele being killing me in terms of coaching, yeah, I had to push it aside. So I'll put up one because I actually started it. I actually had it up yesterday. I think the other day I was too knackered. Okay. So I couldn't do it. Yeah, that's very true. There are 5 women, and there's more probably coming out too, right? That seemingly coming out and have similar stories at a point. Yeah, when the smoke like that is heavy and chugging, it means there's a lot more coming out. So if you want to go and see where you can watch this, you can watch it on Queen of Accountability. I'll put it up here so you can see her channel quickly. And so you can see it really quickly. This is her channel. It is under Celebrity Podcast. If you want to go watch it, go and have a look. She talks about all the situations. There's a lot more things coming as well. So yeah. I'm just telling the man then be careful who we want to promote and who we want to get behind. I appreciate guys. I'm gonna love you and leave you. Shout out to Brochet B. We appreciate you for also being a coming member. Much love, much appreciation. It's always appreciated. And yes, we're gonna bid you adieu, guys. All right. Much love. Appreciate y'all.